So, my most recent post was written by a friend of mine who's a beautiful writer about yoga asanas to release trauma. And yoga for me, it started out as something that was like a physical exercise of sorts, and it made me feel better. I actually learned it when I was figure skating and as an actor. That was part of our training. But actually, what it really does is what it releases, it opens up the fascia, which is where we hold trapped emotions, and it allows us to release those emotions that we haven't fully felt. And once we feel it, maybe memories come up, maybe thoughts arise, just to watch what those are and not really stay attached to any of the stories, just noticing that, oh, that's a story that was locked in that part of my body, and letting it come up. Like for me, I notice I cry or I scream or I laugh, like different releases of emotion are expressed. And in that, I can really fully feel it, let it up, let it out, and let the timeline that it existed on just completely collapse. And it's like I know where I can feel in my body which part it releases from. And that's really like the essence of meditation and yoga. Not the full essence in all regards, but part of it is really just as we tap into ourselves and we really feel into our bodies, we can feel where the blockages are and allow them to come up and out. And it manifests differently for everybody. And you can take as long or as short as you need. And everybody really has their own karma and their own, their own unique experiences. So however it comes through for you is exactly right. There's no way that someone else can tell you what it's supposed to feel like. But as it moves through you, just really giving yourself space to allow it is so profound. And that's really how we release trauma. So I have this post written about yoga asanas to release trauma. Usually we hold emotions in our hips. We hold fear, usually, in the neck and shoulders. So we're afraid to speak our truth, the throat chakra. And in the lower back, emotional trauma. Not holding our core, not holding our ground. And the lower back is a very sensitive area because there's just the spinal cord and all the organs and the muscles that hold it together. There's no bones that hold it. So if you're not really using your muscles to hold your body, we end up collapsing on the bones. Our skeletons are not made to do that. That's why we have muscles. So these are just unconscious habits that we have all been privy to, and the power of yoga asana is to really strengthen the body so that our bodies can hold us. And in that space, we can really allow the energy to move through us freely and in alignment. And when energy is moving through our bodies, through our meridian lines, completely in alignment with our true nature, that's just when life is in flow, right? It's quite simple. So on top of that, pranayama, breathwork, kriyas, these work on a much deeper level to release trauma. So I really advise my students to start with asana, which most people do. Most people only know yoga as asana. And that's okay. I did that for like 10 years, studying that really fully, maybe more actually, really fully getting into like how to use the body in such a way that supports us, that supports life. And really once we get into that and we really master the alignment, I feel that it's time. And Iyengar uses this as well, where it's like first we start with asana and then we move into the breath work, because we really need to train our bodies to be prepared for the experiences that come through in meditation, that come through in powerful kriyas and pranayama and breath work. And every single one of us has the capability of this strength. Like, this is what we're born for. And every single one of us has the capability of awakening. However, it's manifested completely different in every single person. So yeah, there's several different kriyas and pranayamas, which are breath work, that really we use. So kriyas, we use mantra, we use breath work, we use repetitive movements, group work, partner work, different things to connect to the energy within and to really shift our vibration and shift consciousness. And the magical thing about it is that it works really in just a few minutes, whereas asana, we really need to build the strength, which takes time, and we need to open up the flexibility, which takes time. And it's important to do that work first, I feel. But really, when the body is prepared, we can open it up to greater experiences of ourself, of, in yoga we would call it of Brahman, or in maybe more secular, not really secular, but more Western speak, we would call it God. I guess God is quite universal, it's not just Western. But these mystical experiences that happen through meditation that really are life and really are more aligned with truth than our ideas of life, right? Because they come through to us. And maybe I'm going a little bit deeper than some of you guys are comfortable with. But if just let me know your responses, and I'm happy to go even deeper into what these experiences are and how they can manifest, and how to really trust them. Okay, so I hope this sheds some light on really the power of yoga for healing and the power of yoga for releasing trauma and really coming back to our own alignment with our truth and ourself. Okay, love you all.